employee engagement should have happened a little earlier. Because ultimately, if you look at it, HR shared services is all about targeting employees here, our internal employees. In this case, we had designed the value proposition. We started off by working on process structures. Then we worked on processes. And after that, we went down to employees, telling them, see, this is what we have. And this is what you need to do. So had we engaged them a little more proactively, they could have contributed to even keeping our processes simpler. Because post that, we got a lot of recommendations from employees, why don't you do this, or I'm finding it difficult to log on here. So in hindsight, I think we'll do this differently, is probably engage with employees first, and then let your structure and processes follow.
Yes, do we have permission for one question?
I'll make it a very quick one. I am Shubha from John Deere, and I am part of a very nascent stage shared services team which we've built, and it's a year old. I've got a very ground level question especially for Ramesh. Especially you've done so much of matrix and SLA and TAD, and the question is more from the ground level managers who are there in the team. What kind of culture do you set up in the HR shared services organization? I'll tell you why I asked this. Because there's a SLA needs to be done, that there's a quality standard which you want to follow, that efficiency and correct data accuracy is so important, and still there are daily issues which come escalated, and I'm on third level up, it comes up to me. How do you deal with that on a day-to-day basis? How do you do work around disciplining and other parts of it, more around culture within shared services?
Yeah, it's not that all this that we've achieved happened overnight. It was a transition which took some time. So first of all, you need to have patience. You're not going to meet all your numbers on the first year. Probably what I'm showing you is what is in the third year or the fourth year. So it's going to take time. Secondly, I was able to impress upon my own team. The credibility of HR services vastly improved because of these SLAs, because of this voice of customers. Otherwise, it was just based on perceptions of one or two individuals, maybe the HR business partner or maybe a manager or a disgruntled employee used to paint you back when you had 999 transactions good but one transaction bad. But today when I'm going to talk to any business leader, any employee, any manager, when I have this dashboard and it shows that 99% I'm on time, I'm 10 months out of 12 months I'm about target, then the credibility of HR goes up. And therefore, my team members also realize that it makes sense for me to closely follow these dashboards, follow these SLAs, so that my credibility, my esteem in the organization also goes up. It's a journey, it doesn't happen overnight, it takes time. As I said, it can be painful, it can be stressing, but then I'm sure that as professionals we do understand that if we run it like a business, we have some scorecard, we have some SLAs to adhere, and therefore it brings value both to you and to the business owners.
Thank you, Ramesh.
Don't want to overstay our welcome. So I think, just one last observation, just a summary from all that we have heard, is that there is a business need to go into for shared services. So every business has their own rationale for going into it. But what you see, which is common right across, and the learnings also from all three, the businesses presentation is you've seen, is that while it's important, the quicker that you move to a process, the better it is because it's more efficient and you move towards what we see as machine-like efficiency. But what is really critical is that we need to prepare for it. And because at the end of the day, we are dealing with human beings. So while we move towards that, we need to prepare to set the context, to communicate to people. Also, the result of a shared services, we need to move towards machine-like efficiency. But if I may use the term, we need to have a machine with a heart, right? A machine which is very efficient, delivers consistently, but it still has that human touch. The other very important part, which we've seen in the presentations, is the criticality and the need to measure. Because not just as a self-governing and a self-direction to see what direction we're going, but the other advantage that it has is that it also, you use that to communicate to your audience, to your stakeholders. And once they see that, and more specific it is the measurement criteria, it is easier to sort of convert them and get them to believe the cause. So if just a 3-4 line summary on what we've seen and from what the challenges are. And I would just like to thank you all for your experiences and really good, very relevant. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you, Ajay, Rajendra and Ramesh for putting it so vividly to each one of us on this important theme of journey from efficiency to experience. I'll request all of you to kindly put your hands together to thank the session chair and the speakers. To do the honors, may I request Professor V. Kumar, Director, Geetam Institute of Management, to please come on the dais and present the memento to Honorable first the session chair and then our panelists. First to Mr. S. Sanjay Sen, please. Friends, let's say loud for the session chair. Ajay Bakshi. Kumar sir, please come back. You have to honor all of them. So, Ajay. Thank you, Ajay. Rajendra. Ramesh. Thank you, and we look forward to your continued patronage to National HRD Network. Friends, with this, there are two further very important information which I would like to share with you. Number one, we would like to bid farewell and thanks to our participants who are from business schools and academia. We will meet you tomorrow at 9:15 here. We will request you to be seated by 9:10 or 9:15. The session will start sharp at 9:30 tomorrow morning in the same hall, and we are focusing on leveraging technology and HR intelligence making. So I know it's a very critical aspect in shared services which you all need to be aware of. So thank you so much for joining us, and I'll request my colleagues from the corporate and those who have received a personal invitation to stay back for a closed room session which is going to follow at 7 p.m. here today, which is only by invitation, as I said. So this session will be led by Dr. Santrup, Mr. Sandeep Das, and we are going to discuss a very, very critical aspect in human resources. It's only by invitation and a closed room discussion. So request to my corporate participants, please stay back. Thank you once again. We'll catch up tomorrow sharp 9:15. Thank you indeed. Thank you.